Monday, March 6, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. So I'd like to talk about the welfare state today, mainly because I saw this headline this morning in the Times of London, the Times newspaper, and the headline says, front page, Chancellor plans tax rise to fund budget giveaways. So for those of you who don't know, the Chancellor of the Exchequer is the Secretary of the Treasury equivalent in the United Kingdom, and he's giving a speech this Wednesday. It's his budget for 2017 budget presentation. The fiscal year starts in April 2017 through to April 2018. And the thing about that headline, it's quite, it doesn't make sense. It's like a non sequitur. It says plans to tax rise, right? Which means taking away from someone, because when, governments don't have any money, they have to tax people or corporations or, and businesses. And it says to fund budget giveaways. So it doesn't make sense, we're going to have a giveaway. You're not, because you're going to take, £1 billion or whatever from this group and give it to another group. So how can that be a giveaway? There's no net gain for anyone. If anything, you're just disrupting, the wealth of the country, taking from Peter to pay Paul. That's basically what it is. And I'm not inconsiderate. I believe in charity. But the problem with socialism or collectivism is that it's forced charity. The intention is very good. But, when governments are involved and politicians are involved, all the good intentions, they're always perverted, because politicians, they don't think long term. They are only thinking of, the next election and what they need to do to get reelected. So they give away money by taking money from the group that doesn't vote for them, or a group, and give money to the group that votes for them. The only politician I know who never operated like that was Ron Paul, Republican representative in the U.S. Congress from Texas. He never offered anything to his constituents. He always said, why should I offer you anything, but I'm not going to vote to take anything from you either. So he kind of left, he was known as Mr. No, because he never voted for any bill, spending bill, so to speak. And on Wednesday then we've got, the budget. And am I going to pay attention to it? Does it make any difference? I mean, the best budget for me would be a very short budget, speech that would last 5-10 minutes and people wouldn't even care about. But nowadays, the UK government and other governments for that matter are involved in so many things. This speech will probably last an hour, and he's going to say, I'm going to raise, the price, the tax on cigarettes, the tax on alcohol. I'm going to do this and this and this, interfering so much with the economy. The welfare state, in my opinion, is is well intended, but it doesn't work. For example, in the 1950s, the National Health Service, or NHS in the UK, was in its infancy. I think it was created in 1948 after the war. But back then you had 7 people working for every pensioner or retired person, who usually use more the National Health Service because they're older and have, their health is not as good as younger people, generally speaking. So there was enough, people working to fund the NHS, and also enough people working to fund pensions. And the other thing as well, people didn't live as long, but in the last 65, 70 years, age expectancy, life expectancy is, gone up. So it's like almost 80 for men and women. And the amount of people working now for every pensioner is like somewhere like 2 or 3, and it's going to get worse because the baby boomers, are retiring, in droves up until 2030. So, yeah, some politician, in the 50s, they thought, oh, this NHS is great. It works really well. But they didn't think, in 60 years how it would be. So, it's not even a matter of how, well run it is or how the doctors or nurses are in the NHS. It's more the system. It's just, it's completely, you can't fix it. It's just completely broken. It doesn't work. And that's not only the NHS, but other things as well. The other thing that the welfare state encourages is people who abuse the welfare state, because it's, as I said, it's well intended. We're going to help those who are unfortunate, but it becomes like a huge gravy train, and politicians love it because they keep buying votes. In the UK now, even the elderly, they have a free bus pass, as they call, or the Freedom Pass. So I think if you're over 60, I think it's 60, you get public transportation for free. And a lot of people don't need that. They have cars, and they can drive, and they've got pensions. So why do you need to give that to people? They're not, unfortunate, or they haven't gone into bad times. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, the fallacy of the welfare state. And the only thing really that has allowed the welfare state to go on and on and on, of course, is the fiat money system. As Greenspan said, gold is the enemy of the statist. The statist is the collectivist, the politician who wants the state to always be, taking away from the productive sector of society and giving it to another sector that will vote for them. I'm not even criticizing the people who are taking these benefits or whatever. If you're entitled to it, you might as well do it. I personally don't begrudgingly would do that. Yeah, I mean, when I lost my job in 2012, it was the first time I lost my job. I didn't want to take, they call it, the dole, or they call it here, I don't even know what they call it now. But when you get made redundant, you can claim, I think it's like 70 pounds a week. And I said to my wife, no, I don't want to do it. And then one of my ex-clients said, oh, you should do it. You've paid the tax for it. And I did, but I wasn't happy about it because I could, look after myself, and I didn't want to, do that. But I did it because people, friends and family said you might as well do it for a few months, and I did. But that's it. So I wouldn't expect much gains for the public in general after this budget on Wednesday by the UK Chancellor. It's another, round of robbing Peter to give, taking from Peter to give to Paul, or whatever you want to call it. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it far and wide. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. If you think I add value, you can always donate to my channel as well. There's some links in the description below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.